given all this wisdom that is available in native cultures around the world, we also can see that in contrast to that, so many of the native people seem to live in such incredible distress, from alcoholism to all kind of dysfunction that is really hurting themselves and their culture. And how come that this culture somehow can't access its own wisdom and apply it to many of the people that are living in it?
And the contradictions that are within the period that we live in right now, really. It's a reality that has been brought into being. I think what we're seeing is, like I said, I've worked in Indigenous communities where the alcoholism rate is 500 times the national norm. And to understand where that comes from, it's basically death. It's a suicidal wish that's slowly taking its toll, and it comes from having been stripped of our culture. In many ways, what I can say is hard for someone else to really understand and feel. And when I say we are spiritually tied to our land in a way that is about who we are and the very essence of our identity, when you break that tie, you have severed a deep, deep wound within us that can literally kill us. Where you can see this, and take us over to Africa, working with the pygmy, the Batwa, or the Meningela over there. They were removed from their forests, the impenetrable forest up in the Congo Basin of Africa, to make way for parks. They wanted to clear them out so that they could have these people-free network of parks in that basin. 45,000 pygmies were forcibly removed out of their ancestral territories. Their understanding of who they are, the essence of their reason for living in every spiritual sense, was to take care of those lands. So as they now understand it, they are now being punished. Their children are dying of starvation. They're sitting on the roadside, forbidden from going back into their territories. And it's all because they're not taking care of their lands. According to their stories of origin, according to everything they know about themselves, they're responsible for that land, and they're seeing it get ruined, and they're not taking care of it. When you go out to our communities, you will still hear, even from someone who is on the verge of passing out from drinking, they will still talk about the land in a way of being responsible and tied to it. So much of that gets broken. Our parenting gets broken because our kids get taken away and put into boarding schools. Our sense of identity gets crushed because of the racism. And looking at a program on TV, you're told that you're supposed to act a certain way, look a certain way. All of those factors have an impact. And yet we have seen, when we're in communities in the work we do, we make small grants through our Keepers of the Earth Fund, and we've actually been able to see that sometimes the number of drums in a community tells you how frequently they have ceremony. How frequently they have ceremony directly affects the drinking, directly affects the spousal abuse. Those ceremonies bring us back together, tie us in a way that bring us to the present of recognizing and once again understanding who we really are. But if we're still not on our lands, we're still not truly fulfilling our God-given responsibility. And that is so fundamental. It's just really hard to... It would be the largest desecration imaginable in any religious society, and it's comparable to that for us. It's denying the God that we know. That has an effect on you. It has an effect on your people.
On our website globalleadership.tv, you will find additional footage, other dialogues with innovation leaders from around the world, and also the hands-on practices that help them and their organizations to move from inspiration to real change.